Hello students, welcome to Zoology Classroom. This is Yal Mahesh, Assistant Professor of Zoology from Tara Government College, Sangareddy. In today's class, we are going to discuss about pyruvate oxidization. This topic comes under BSc Final Year Zoology. In the last class, we have discussed about glycolysis. In that class, we have discussed that glycolysis is the first level of pathway in our cells. It is responsible for releasing energy in the cells. And as you all know, energy is essential for all living beings. Without energy, nothing can happen in the cells and in the bodies of the organisms. That's why getting energy is very, very essential for the survival of the organisms. And in releasing the energy from the food materials, this glycolysis stood in the first row. So, in the glycolysis, we have seen that the net benefit of glycolysis is 2 ATPs. In the process of glycolysis pathway, 2 ATPs will be utilized. By the end of the glycolysis pathway, 4 ATPs will be synthesized or produced. So net benefit will be 2 ATPs from the glycolysis pathway. But that 2 ATP is very, very less for the functioning of the cell, so that more amount of ATPs have to be produced. So in the last class, we also seen that in the process of glycolysis, NADH will be formed, and at the end of the glycolysis, pyruvate or pyruvic acid will be formed. So this pyruvic acid also, it is having lot of energy in the form of chemical bonds. So all those chemical bonds have to be broken down to release that energy, and finally that energy will be utilized in synthesizing ATP. And NADH also, they are also having energy in the form of chemical bonds. So that energy also has to be released to produce ATP. So all those activities, that means releasing energy from the NADH and from pyruvic acid will take place in later stages. So in those later stages, we are going to discuss one of those later stages in today's class. So sources of pyruvate. So we have seen that pyruvic acid will be formed in the glycolysis. Not only in glycolysis, apart from glycolysis, various other sources also provide pyruvic acid. So in the glycolysis, pyruvate is the end product, but in other chemicals, some amino acids and some organic acids like malic acid, lactic acid, and amino acids like cysteine and serine. In the metabolism of these molecules also, pyruvic acid will be formed. So not only from glycolysis, from various other sources also, pyruvic acid will be synthesized in the cells, in the cytoplasm of the cell. And what happens to the pyruvic acid? So fate of the pyruvic acid. So pyruvic acid can be converted into different types of compounds depending on the needs of the cell. The pyruvic acid may be converted into lactate or lactic acid, malic acid, ethanol, oxaloacetate, acetyl coenzyme A, and alanine. This pyruvic acid, if it is converted into acetyl coenzyme A, this acetyl coenzyme A enters into Krebs cycle, and this Krebs cycle, and after Krebs cycle, electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation pathways will be there. Through those pathways, the energy which is hidden in the form of chemical bonds in pyruvic acid will be released, and that released energy will be utilized for the synthesis of ATPs. And depending on the availability of the different sources. Depending on the needs of the different sources, pyruvic acid may be converted into ethanol, oxaloacetate, alanine, lactate, and malic acid also. So let us see the effect of the pyruvic acid step by step or one by one. Pyruvic acid to lactic acid conversion. So pyruvic acid can be converted into lactic acid when the cells are devoid of oxygen, or when the cells are in shortage of oxygen. Pyruvic acid will be converted into lactic acid. So in this process of converting pyruvic acid to lactic acid, what happens? Pyruvic acid will be reduced by NADH. So this reduction of NADH will result in the formation of lactic acid. So this this process, or this chemical reaction, biochemical reaction, will be catalyzed by lactate dehydrogenase enzyme. So in this chemical reaction equation, we can clearly see that pyruvic acid is converted to lactic acid in the presence of NADH, and here the NADH is reduced to NAD plus. And the enzyme which is useful for this for the occurring of this reaction is lactate dehydrogenase. And this reaction is reversible reaction. So when the pyruvic acid is required, lactic acid again can be converted into pyruvic acid. So this reaction takes place in our cells also when the amount of oxygen is less. So, for example, when we are doing a rigorous exercises, or when we are doing hard work, we will get tired after some time. So this this tiredness is due to the formation of lactic acid only. So if you are doing hard work, the amount of oxygen will not be sufficient for converting pyruvic acid to ATPs. So that's why then whenever there is not sufficient oxygen availability in the cells, under those circumstances, pyruvic acid will be converted into lactic acid. Again, when the oxygen is plentifully or fully available in the cells, then again this lactic acid will be converted into pyruvic acid. So in this way, after taking some rest, again we will become active and we will continue to work. So that is due to the conversion of lactic acid to pyruvic acid. So in this way, this conversion of pyruvic acid to lactic acid is a reversible reaction. This happens now and then in our bodies. So next, conversion of pyruvic acid to lactic acid conversion again. So the cells lacking mitochondria under anaerobic conditions, the NADH formed in the oxidation of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is consumed in the reduction of pyruvate. So this we have seen in the last slide itself. So we have seen that in the glycolysis, one NADPH will be formed from one glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So in that way, two NADHs will be formed. That NADH will be utilized in reducing pyruvic acid to lactic acid. The regeneration of NAD plus in the reduction of pyruvic acid to lactate sustains the continued operation of glycolysis under anaerobic conditions. So this NAD plus again it is required in the glycolysis process. In that way, NAD plus again will be formed, and this NADP plus will be utilized in the glycolysis. So in that way, glycolysis will be continued. Next, pyruvate conversion, pyruvic acid conversion to oxaloacetate. So in mitochondria, pyruvic acid carboxylase enzyme will be there. So this pyruvic acid carboxylase or pyruvate carboxylase enzyme catalyzes the carboxylation of pyruvic acid to oxaloacetate. So here in this reaction, what happens? Pyruvic acid will get one carbon dioxide molecule. In that way, it will be converted to oxaloacetic acid. So this reaction requires an ATP. So and vitamin biotin. Biotin also is required in this reaction, and this bicarbonate ions are also required for this reaction. From this bicarbonate ions only, pyruvic acid will get carbon dioxide molecule. And again, after this oxaloacetic acid will be converted either into aspartic acid or aspartate citrate and phosphoenol pyruvate. So this phosphoenol pyruvate will be utilized in gluconeogenesis, and citric acid and aspartic acid, they are intermediates in Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. So in this way, oxaloacetate is interlinked to Krebs cycle and gluconeogenesis cycle. So whenever oxaloacetate is required in the cells, under those circumstances, pyruvic acid may be directly converted to oxaloacetate. So there is another pathway also there. Pyruvic acid will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A, and later this acetyl coenzyme A again reacts with oxaloacetic acid. So oxaloacetic acid will be formed in the last stage in the Krebs cycle. So, but to form the oxaloacetate in the Krebs cycle pathway, it takes a lot of time. But when oxaloacetic acid is urgently required in the cell, under those circumstances, this pyruvic acid will immediately form the oxaloacetic acid by reacting with bicarbonate ions and in the presence of biotin component and pyruvic acid decarboxylase enzymes. So in this way, pyruvic acid may be converted to oxaloacetic acid uh, uh, in one pathway. So next, pyruvic acid to alanine conversion. So alanine is one type of amino acid. So this amino acid, if it is required by the cells, pyruvic acid may be directly converted to alanine. So this conversion requires glutamate presence. So pyruvic acid will react with glutamic acid or glutamate. So this reaction will be catalyzed by ALT enzyme. ALT is short form for alanine aminotransferase enzyme. So one amino group will be transferred from glutamine to pyruvic acid. So then pyruvic acid will be converted into alanine, and glutamate will be converted into alpha ketoglutamate acid. So in this way, when alanine is required by the cell, pyruvic acid, by reacting with glutamic acid, it can produce alanine in the presence of ALT enzyme or alanine aminotransferase enzyme. So this is alanine is a non-essential amino acid. Like this, couple of non-essential amino acids are there. So even though if we do not have them through our diets, these alanine or this non-essential amino acids can be produced by the cells by this type of pathways, by this type of reactions. Next, pyruvic acid to malate conversion. So pyruvic acid may be directly converted into malate, and malate can be converted into pyruvic acid. So this is also a reversible reaction. Malate also, it is a part of Krebs cycle, malic acid. So this cytosolic malate dehydrogenase enzyme or malic acid dehydrogenase enzyme will be utilized or will be catalyzing this reaction. In this reaction, NADP plus utilized and it will be reduced to NADPH. So in this way, pyruvic acid can synthesize malic acid also. And pyruvic acid can be converted into ethanol. This happens in some microorganisms like yeast and some other bacteria. So this process is also called as fermentation. So through this fermentation, pyruvic acid will be converted into acetaldehyde first, and later this acetaldehyde will be converted into ethanol. So the first reaction will be catalyzed by pyruvic acid decarboxylase enzyme. So in this reaction, one carbon dioxide will be removed from the pyruvic acid. By happening so, pyruvic acid will be converted to acetaldehyde. Later, this acetaldehyde will be reducing the NADH to NAD plus. So this is catalyzed by alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme, ethyl alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme. So by the help of this alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme, acetaldehyde will be converted into ethanol. So by these two reactions, the yeast cells and several other microorganisms, they will produce or they will convert pyruvic acid to ethyl alcohol or ethanol. And last one, conversion of pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A conversion. So pyruvic acid can be converted into acetyl coenzyme A. This is very, very important. We are concerned about this topic only in today's lesson. Why? Because this acetyl coenzyme A is very, very useful in the energy releasing process. When acetyl coenzyme A is formed, Krebs cycle will be started with the entry of acetyl coenzyme A only. So under aerobic condition, this reaction takes place. So when plenty of oxygen is available in the cells, and when the cell is in need of ATP molecules or energy, when the cell is in need of energy and it is having oxygen, then pyruvic acid will be converted to acetyl coenzyme A. So that's why it is said that under aerobic conditions, pyruvic acid will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A. But this conversion of acetyl coenzyme A will not happen in the cytoplasm. We know that pyruvic acid will be formed in cytosol or cytoplasm of the cells. In all the cells, in all type of living beings, pyruvic acid will be synthesized in the cytoplasm only. Why? Because glycolysis takes place in cytoplasm only, in all type of living organisms. So pyruvic acid is present in the cytoplasm. But to be converted to acetyl coenzyme A, this pyruvic acid has to be converted into mitochondria. So the transportation of pyruvic acid into mitochondria requires one special type of transport protein that is called a proton importer. So this proton importer will transport a proton molecule, that means hydrogen ion and pyruvic acid. So this is a coupled importer. So this is a coupled transport. So here this proton importer transports pyruvic acid along with proton molecule. So after reaching the mitochondrial matrix, this pyruvic acid will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A. So how this is converted, we shall see in detail. So this reaction, the conversion reaction of pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A requires one special type of enzyme that is called as pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So this is not a single enzyme, this is a complex enzyme. This reaction is irreversible reaction. Unlike in the previous reactions we have seen them, many of them are reversible reactions. See here in the pyruvate to ethanol conversion, the first reaction is irreversible reaction, but the second reaction is reversible reaction. And pyruvate to malate, this is also a reversible reaction. And pyruvate to alanine, this is also a reversible reaction. And pyruvate to oxaloacetate, this is also this is not a reversible reaction. And this pyruvate to lactate conversion, this is also reversible reaction. So many are reversible reactions, but here this pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A conversion reaction is an irreversible reaction. And the end product of this reaction is acetyl coenzyme A. This is the link between this reaction or this acetyl coenzyme A is the link between glycolysis and citric acid cycle. So here in this cycle, in this slide, we can see that this is the mitochondria. This is the inner membrane of the mitochondria, and this is the outer membrane of the mitochondria. This is the outer chamber, and this is the inner chamber. The liquid which is filling the inner chamber is called as matrix. And outside this mitochondria is the cytoplasm. So in the cytoplasm, this pyruvic acid is synthesized, and this pyruvic acid enters into the mitochondrial matrix through this proton importer molecule. So this is proton importer molecule. So this proton importer molecule transports hydrogen ions as well as pyruvic acid into this. So once pyruvic acid enters into the matrix of the mitochondria, it reacts with coenzyme A. This is coenzyme A, CoA, this is called as coenzyme A, and NADP+. So by reacting with NAD plus and coenzyme A, this pyruvic acid will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A and carbon dioxide and NADH. So NADH and carbon dioxide. So by losing one molecule of carbon dioxide, pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. So this is the reaction taking place in the matrix, and this is catalyzed by pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex. So here the pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex is having two types of enzymes. One type of enzymes is catalytic enzymes. Another type of enzymes is called as regulatory enzymes. So there are three types of catalytic enzymes are there. One is enzyme 1. This is also called as pyruvate dehydrogenase. And second one is E2 enzyme. This is also called as dihydrolipoyl transacetylase enzyme. Third one is E3 enzymes. This is called as dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase enzyme. Pyruvate dehydrogenase E1, dihydrolipoyl transacetylase E2, and dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase E3. So these are the three enzymes that are called as catalytic enzymes. So these catalyze the reactions. The actual reaction is catalyzed by these three enzymes only. And another set of enzymes is called as regulatory enzymes. So these regulatory enzymes are of two types. One is PDH kinase, another one is PDH phosphatase. So pyruvic dehydrogenase kinase, pyruvic dehydrogenase phosphatase. These enzymes are regulatory enzymes. These enzymes concentrations, they will regulate the reaction, this reaction of conversion of pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme. So these two enzymes are helpful in regulating the above reaction. And these three enzymes, they will catalyze the reaction. So apart from these two types of enzymes, this pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex, it is also requires some other coenzymes. So the coenzymes are 5 types of coenzymes are there in this pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex. So that is, they are thiamine pyrophosphate (TPP). Second one is lipoic acid. Third one is coenzyme A. And fourth one is FAD. And fifth one is NAD plus. So these 5 are the coenzymes. Without the presence of these coenzymes, pyruvic acid dehydrogenase complex cannot perform the function, cannot do the conversion of, cannot stimulate or cannot stimulate that reaction. So the reaction catalyzed by this PDH complex, what happens in this process? Actually, 3 steps are there in this reaction. That means conversion of pyruvic acid into acetyl coenzyme A. This is the reaction. This reaction happens in 3 steps. In the first step or in the first reaction, decarboxylation takes place. So in this, one carbon dioxide molecule will be removed from the, pyruvic acid. Okay. And next step, oxidization. Second reaction is oxidization. So in the first step, carbon dioxide will be removed. In the second stage, it will be oxidized. And in the third step, transfer of resultant acetyl group to coenzyme A. So by undergoing the above 2 reactions, pyruvic acid will be converted to acetyl group. This acetyl group will be transferred to coenzyme A. By this reaction, it will be converted to acetyl coenzyme A. So these 3 steps are coupled to preserve the free energy derived from the decarboxylation step to drive the formation of NADH and acetyl coenzyme A. So this acetyl coenzyme A and NADH will be formed as a result of this reaction, these 3 reactions. NADH and acetyl coenzyme A will be formed, and these 2 molecules are having energy. This energy will be released from these molecules in the next stages like Krebs cycle and electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation stages. So the reaction, what happens, the 3 reactions, what will happen in this reaction? So in the first step, pyruvic acid loses 1 carbon dioxide. So by losing one carbon dioxide, it will become acyl thiamine pyrophosphate. So this TPP will be thiamine pyrophosphate will react with this pyruvic acid. So by doing this reaction, by undergoing this reaction, pyruvic acid will be converted to acyl TPP. So pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme, E1 enzyme. Pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme will be uh, uh, catalyzing this first reaction. Okay. And in the second reaction, dehydrolipomide acyl transferase enzyme, E2, this is E2 enzyme. So this E2 enzyme, it reacts with acyl TPP. Okay, here lipoic acid. This lipoic acid will react with this acyl TPP. In this reaction, this results in the formation of acyl lipoate. So this acyl lipoate will be utilized. And this acyl lipoate formation will be catalyzed by this E2 enzyme, dihydrolipomide acyl transferase enzyme. So, and later this acyl lipoate enzyme, it reacts with coenzyme A, and this coenzyme A reaction with this acyl lipoate results in the formation of acetyl coenzyme A. So this is very, very important. So the total reactions are occurring for the formation of this acetyl coenzyme A only. So here again, one more step will be there. Two more steps will be there in these reactions. That is, this lipoic acid will be reduced in this reaction. So coenzyme A will be coupled to acyl lipoate to form acetyl coenzyme A. In this reaction, this lipoic acid will be reduced to lipoic SH. So reduced lipoate will be formed. So it is receiving hydrogen ions. So these hydrogen ions and electrons will be received by this lipoic acid. So in this way, it is reduced. So the reduced lipoic acid, it will transfer these hydrogen ions and electrons to FAD ion. So the FAD ion will receive these hydrogen ions and electrons. Then it will be converted to FADH2. And this FADH2, again, it will transfer the received hydrogen ions and electrons to NAD+. So by receiving the hydrogen ions and electrons from this FADH, NAD+ will be converted to NADH plus H2. So this is FADH2, here it is not given correct. The FADH2 will transfer two hydrogen ions and electrons to this NAD+. By this way, NADH plus hydrogen ions will be released. So these hydrogen ions are very, very important, and this NADH also very, very important. So NADH is having energy in the form of chemical bonds. Acetyl coenzyme also is having energy in the form of chemical bonds. So the chemical bonds will be broken in later stages or in later pathways. And hydrogen ions are also very, very important in releasing the energy from these molecules. So the important end products of this reaction is NADH and hydrogen ions and acetyl coenzyme A. So in this way, three enzymes, the reaction, actually this reactions from this lipoic acid to FADH, FADH to NADH. So these three reactions are nothing but these are redox reactions. So successively they are undergoing oxidation and reduction reactions. When they are receiving hydrogen, that is a reduction reaction. When they are releasing hydrogen ions and electrons, that is a oxidation reaction. So in this way, oxidation and reduction reactions will take place in two steps. So actually, we must say in three steps. So these reactions, these last two reactions will be catalyzed by E3 enzyme, dihydrolipoyl dehydrogenase enzyme. So in this way, the pyruvic acid will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A and NADH and hydrogen ions. So the regulation of this PDH complex, pyruvic dehydrogenase complex, how they will be regulated. We have seen that two enzymes are there. Those two enzymes, they will regulate depending on the requirement of ATP demands. So pyruvic dehydrogenase is inhibited both when there is adequate ATP available and also when fatty acids are being oxidized. So when fatty acids are taking place in the taking part in the Krebs cycle, then acetyl coenzyme A is not required. So then pyruvic dehydrogenase enzyme will be inhibited by the two inhibitory enzymes. And also when ATP is plentifully available in the cells, then also this acetyl coenzyme A formation is not required. So that this pyruvic dehydrogenase enzyme will be inhibited by those two inhibitory enzymes. So in this way, two type of situations will cause to the inhibition of this pyruvic dehydrogenase enzyme. And in fasting, when fatty acid concentrations increase, so when we are on fasting, then what happens? Fatty acids will be synthesized in our body to take part in this Krebs cycle and release ATP energy. So under those circumstances, also this pyruvic dehydrogenase enzyme will be inhibited. And there is a decrease in the proportion of the enzyme in the active form. So this pyruvic dehydrogenase will not be activated; it will be inhibited, so that it will be decreased to form this active form of pyruvic dehydrogenase enzyme, leading to a sparing of carbohydrates, so that these carbohydrates will be remained in the cells. They will not be broken down to form ATPs. And energetics of a PDH complex, two pyruvic molecules will be formed from single glucose molecule. We have seen that in glycolysis. So each pyruvic acid yields one NADH, so that there are two NADH molecules will be oxidized through this electron transport chain. And each NADH yields 3 ATP molecules in the electron transport chain in the oxidative phosphorylation reactions. So there's two NADH will be formed from two pyruvic acids, so that totally 6 ATP molecules will be produced from this NADHs. And again, we are having acetyl coenzyme A. This acetyl coenzyme A will take place in Krebs cycle. In Krebs cycle, again, it will form few more NADH molecules and FADH2 molecules. So the energetics of this acetyl coenzyme A will be considered in Krebs cycle parts. So with this, today's topic is over. And in tomorrow, in next class, we will meet with another topic. Thank you.